Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Sam. Welcome back to another video. Everybody knows about the Samsung Galaxy Fold by now. It is Samsung's first foray into the foldable phone market, a market that I personally don't see much value in, but I know a lot of you do. So I get it. I'm not here to argue about foldable phones in this video. What I am here to argue about is how quickly Samsung released their phone. Today has been one of the worst days Samsung could wish for, probably next to the Note 7's catching on fire a few years back, equivalent day to when people got the iPhone 6 and Unbox Therapy realized that it bended really easily because it wasn't properly supported. This is one of those days. It's a day that, like, I'm not here to celebrate and tell you how Samsung's bad and how they are never going to be as good as Apple. That's not what this conversation is about, but I do want to make you aware of the problems that this phone is going through, because it's not just one issue it's plagued by, it's not just two issues, it's not just three issues. There's a lot going on with this phone, and I just want to make sure none of you guys go out on a limb and buy the phone right now, because I don't think it's safe for anyone to recommend this phone to even the biggest tech enthusiast at this point for nearly $2,000. So of course, in any situation, context here is important. A few days back, Samsung issued some review units to a ton of people online who made videos about them, articles about them, and they were like, yeah, like, it's a foldable phone, it's pretty cool, but we noticed a couple minor issues. In some cases, there is a crease after a few uses, it seems like, when you're folding the phone, even though Samsung said that wouldn't happen, which, while the screen's on, you can't really notice it at all. So does it matter? Does it not matter? I'll leave that up to you. So 2 days go by, and all of a sudden, 5 reviewers, that's a significant number for a pool of probably only a few hundred people that got the phone, said, oh, my phone's broke. Dieter Bohn of The Verge, he got something under his screen, and it caused it to flex to a point where the OLED got a line down the middle of the phone like this. Mark Gurman, Marquez, who makes YouTube videos, all of these people, very well-known tech reviewers, they actually got the screen protector to come off, which apparently wasn't supposed to come off, but Samsung didn't make that entirely obvious. And then I think 2 or 3 other people noticed issues where, with no intervention, their screen just started freaking out for no reason, and it's flashing and doing stuff. So I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say maybe this phone came out a little bit too early. I know this product is the first of its kind. I know this is supposed to be what innovation looks like, but I think there's also something to be said about releasing a product that is clearly not ready. I mean, Samsung, without question, had to see the creases in the screen. They had to know that if you slightly remove the extremely thin layer of plastic wrap that appears to be a screen protector, that the screen completely and entirely bricks, that maybe that's an issue and you shouldn't release that. I mean, the only comparison to this, and I hate to make this comparison, but it has to be done, is if this was the iPhone XS. Imagine on September 18th or whenever, when the XS got out to reviewers, 2 days after reviews came out, 6 people said their iPhone XSs have broke. Do you know how much outrage there would have been? If Apple or Google or OnePlus did this, I would feel the exact same way. I'm not saying and having these opinions just because I tend to use more Apple products than anything else. I'm saying this because a bad product is a bad product, and it deserves to be called out for what it is. When Apple said at first that the iPad's bending weren't an issue, I went on them just as hard. This is unacceptable. Don't release a product that isn't up to code with what you're paying. The iPad Pro was $800 and it bent a little bit. That was unacceptable. This phone bricks itself if you touch the screen the wrong way, and it's $2,000. Something's wrong here. Something is very, very wrong in this situation, and there's no way you can excuse it here and say, oh, you know, it's just the first of its kind, like, give them another chance. Listen, either way, if the product succeeds or fails, it doesn't really affect me in either way. I'm not rooting for Samsung in one direction or another, but I also feel like I need to tell you guys about this phone just because of what's going on. And another reviewer says that one side of the screen is refreshing slightly quicker than the other side, making it look like it's jelly scrolling a little bit. I don't know what to say to Samsung other than, what were you guys thinking with this phone? This does not sound like one isolated issue or 2 isolated issues or even 3 isolated issues. This sounds like the product was halfway done and you said, we want to beat Huawei, who also came out with the foldable phone. So instead of making the best possible product, you said, let's scam customers out of $2,000 and hope they accept this. Now, obviously, I don't think Samsung ultimately had bad intentions. I don't think they were legitimately trying to scam people, but it looks to be a little sketchy right now. Like, they knew about these issues. You cannot imagine that a company the size of Samsung didn't know about these issues ahead of launch. And this phone is supposed to come out on April 26th. That is in just about a week. I am very doubtful that that date is still going to be hit with all these issues unless they find a way to resolve it, or unless these phones are going to be very different than the phones that come out in a week. Because these phones are clearly not. When you have phones doing this out of the gate, of course, I'm not saying that a few phones out of every batch are not going to be broken. That's how mass production works. But there's also quality control and realizing that there's a problem in the manufacturing process before you sell it for $2,000. That's the catch. You can't sell a product like this. Now, of course, I can't be completely biased here and say I'm only going to focus on the issues. Some reviewers have said they folded it with no issues at all. They've carried it around for 2 days as their sample size, and it's totally okay. So some of the phones are all right. I don't want to make it sound like every Samsung Fold in the world has these issues, but a good number of them out there now do, which is problematic, obviously. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. Do you think this is a problem for Samsung? Did you, any of you, please let me know down below if you ordered a Galaxy Fold, why? Do you think it's feasible? Even if this phone was $1,000, or let's be generous, let's say Samsung had this on the market right now for $500 to $650. Even if it was at that price point and it was doing this, that's still completely unacceptable. You can't release a product that people are paying for that doesn't work. This, honest to God, if you would show me it and it didn't have the Samsung logo on it, I would say this is some project started by a college kid on Indiegogo that's trying to make it big. That's what this looks like to me. The Galaxy S10 that Samsung makes, that's a professional phone. That looks like a premium thing that I want to spend my money on because it's got an amazing design. Same thing with the Galaxy S10e. Those are high quality, well-made phones, and I think Samsung should be applauded for that. But then they release this, and it's just a pile of garbage, and Samsung seems to be like, well, just take it already. Those are all my thoughts right now. I really, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I hope that Samsung figures this out. I don't hope and wake up every day and say, wow, I can't wait to make a video about Samsung's imminent demise. I don't enjoy that. I think Samsung's a fine company. I think Apple's a fine company. I think OnePlus, Google, they're fine companies. I enjoy covering tech in general, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video or helped to understand the issue in some greater way. If you did, drop a like down below. It always helps me out, and hit subscribe so you stay up to date on the latest tech news. I've been Sam. Hope you're doing well. Good luck, Samsung. You got this, I hope. I really do. Genuinely, I'm a little concerned, but I think you got it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.